my name's Ross Coupland. I moved to Australia in 2013. I actually grew up in the UK, and I was always encouraged to have an interest in natural history. Coming from the UK, there really wasn't a huge amount of diversity there, and although I was very interested in it, when I came to Australia, it really just blew my mind, the amount of diversity here, the amount of species, and not only that, but also how little was known and how few species, relatively speaking, were described. The community science platform iNaturalist was really instrumental in discovering this stick insect. I believe that members of the public who live in the area where this stick insect is found have known about it for some time. And it was really only through iNaturalist that people put a couple of observations of these insects on, and I picked those up through the platform through just identifying stick insects that were observed in Australia. So I can't claim to have discovered it. I believe that the locals have known about it for some time, but I went up to North Queensland where the stick insect occurs, and I was able to track one down based on these locations that were provided with the observations. And the stick insect itself is enormous, really. It's one of Australia's longest insects. The adults will measure in between about 40 to 50 centimeters, but we haven't found very many of them yet. The remarkable thing about it that we do know is that it is currently the heaviest known Australian insect. It comes in at 44 grams, which is about the same as a golf ball, I'm told. And yeah, they really are remarkable because although they are so massive, they just blend into the vegetation where they live so well. You really need to know what you're looking for. Yeah, when you collect an insect and you believe it's a new species to science, as the person who is naming it, describing it, you have to decide which one you want to be the representation of that species. And the term is a holotype, HOLO type. And usually with an insect species, when you describe it, you will also have what's known as a paratype, Para type. And it's with the stick insects, usually it's a male and a female, and you choose which one you want to be that representative specimen for that species. So the one that I found, I decided to be the holotype, the female. And a local contact in the area a few weeks later found a second female, and it was donated to us, the authors of the paper, and that became the paratype. And we have not been able to find a male of the species yet. It's still unknown. We don't know what they look like. We can have a guess based on other species in the genus. We have a rough idea of what it would look like, but it would be amazing to actually find one. Yeah, 100%, Joe. And that's really one of the points that I wanted to make all along with this species. I wanted it to be kind of an ambassador species for these areas because especially this new one, it occurs in very high altitude forests up above 1,000 meters. And those forests are becoming more and more fragmented, and we don't really fully understand the impacts that climate change might have on these forests as well. So these insects may be particularly required to have cool or wet environments, and that could change in the future. There's also pressures from urban development and renewable energy sources such as wind farms on these high altitude mountain areas in that part of the world. And as I said, I really wanted this insect to highlight what could be out there if something this large has essentially evaded detection and description for so long. What else is out there? I mean, there's very few people, at least here in Australia, out looking for this sort of thing because it's rather underfunded, unfortunately, and there could be masses of these things out there that we don't know, large or small. And I really wanted to highlight the fact that these forests in general really should be protected, just because of, just in case there could be something out there. And I feel that's really important. It really was my upbringing in the UK, and my father was always very encouraging of that. I was maybe a little bit unusual, an unusual kid. I had lots of insects around the house and unusual. I'm not sure I'd call them pets, but I'd bring insects in from outside, and I'd raise them and study them, and just gain an appreciation for them. And then coming to Australia, there's so much here. There's so many amazing insects. It's never ending. The voyage of discovery, if you like, here. You can go out into any reasonably vegetated area, a national park or just a suburban parkland, and you can find things which are just amazing to me. And I always encourage people to get out there and have a look, because I'll take people out at night with me, friends, and they're just amazed at what's out there. A lot of people just simply don't know, or have never had that drive from a young age, perhaps. And for me, the interest just doesn't seem to go away. I'm always finding something new and interesting. And I think if you've got an interest in wildlife and the outdoors, you'll never be bored. There'll always be something else out there. So that's what keeps me going anyway.